rest in the goodness of God.
Hello, welcome to Pastor's Perspective.
So God sent his son Jesus.
And I'll tell you, we have seen time and time again God, setting people free.
Oh, well, thank you very much for your
We're going
answer.
to go to Irma in California. What's up, Irma?
Hi, pastors. How are you guys?
Hi, Irma. Good.
I have a question about where in the Bible does it say about Satan and hell being an actual place in the Old Testament?
Okay, and the reason you're asking this question?
I have a brother that is trying to kind of like make us believe that Satan and hell doesn't exist and that the New Testament is not real. So he says, if you find me a place where it says in the Old Testament that Satan is real and hell is an actual place, I'll believe that Jesus exists.
Okay. Tony, what would you suggest for Irma?
Well, you can just go right in the beginning in Genesis chapter 3. It talks about Satan and the serpent and how he went after our first parents, Adam and Eve. Right there in the very beginning, his point was to cast doubt upon the word of God and to get our first parents to disobey God. Also, in the Old Testament, it talks about the Valley of Hinnom, which was a picture or type of the lake of fire. The Valley of Hinnom was a valley by which they threw dead bodies and garbage and things, and it was constantly burning. And therefore, the lake of fire is compared to that because the lake of fire will burn forever and ever. So whenever you will read in the Old Testament, Sheol or the lake of fire or Hades and that sort of thing, you will be talking about and making reference to hell in the Old Testament. But the thing about it is that Satan is in the very beginning. I mean, as soon as we're not even 2 or 3 chapters into the Bible, and he's already there at the very beginning. And it's funny that people would accept something either from one testament or the other. Mm-hmm. Well, I would accept something in the New Testament, or I would accept something in the Old Testament. And it's just crazy. It's one book, but they want to make it 2 separate things.
Yes, because I have brought up that part, and he says that he doesn't never say that Satan. It says the snake was witty above all and fooled Eve into saying, does God say, if you eat of the fruit, he says, you will surely die. She says, he told her, you shall not die. Your eyes will be open and be like God. And he says, so it never says that it was Satan. I have brought up different verses, and I also told him about how he was cast down to the earth. And he says the king of tyrants, that it never was actually Satan that was thrown down to earth.
Well, since when was the king of Tyre in the Garden of Eden? That's where things began to shift in Ezekiel 28 and verses 13 through 16. It starts off talking about the king of Tyre. Then it shifts to the demonic, satanic spirit working behind the king of Tyre, because it begins to go into, you were in the garden of God. When was King of Tyre? In the Garden of Eden. He was never there. So we see that this shift takes place, and then we see how he was cast down in Isaiah 14 in verses 12 through 15. We see how he was cast down when he says, I will do this, the 5 I wills of Satan. And God said, oh, no, you won't. You shall be cast down. Even Jesus said, that's in the New Testament, but even Jesus said, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven.
And you can look into Isaiah 14, I think it is, and Ezekiel 28, and it's a depiction of the fall of Lucifer. His name is changed, obviously, from the bearer of light into Satan. But and there's another one on the question on the board, Irma, was about where in the Old Testament does it say hell is real, and that word is used. I mean, in the New King James, some of those are translated into, as Tony said, Sheol, but some of them the word hell is still in there. In Psalm 10:17, it says, "The wicked shall be turned into hell, and then and all the nations that forget God. It comes up over and over again, and to see the literal presence of the devil himself, called Satan. I mean, it just shows up over and over in the Old Testament as well as in the New. He's a real fallen angel who thought he could take God.
Yeah. Now, as to Irma's brother's assertion that the New Testament isn't even real, I mean, what do you say in 20 seconds?
He's hanging on to a notion that's really popular right now by people who haven't studied. They've just taken a narrative that fits them and gives them an excuse to not give the credit to the Word of God that they should.
Yeah. All right, Irma, thanks for calling us today on Pastor's Perspective. Hey, thank you for watching this segment of Pastor's Perspective. Remember to subscribe to our channel, like this video, leave a comment even, and click the bell icon to get notified every time we do something special like this. And remember to share this video with your friends. God bless you guys. Thank you for supporting Pastor's Perspective.